not only are we famous for that, but we're also famous for having a small population. And even the little community where we live, it's called Limestone Cove, there's about 30 people who live there. And they all go to the one church that's in Limestone Cove, and it's where we go when we're at home. And a few years ago, the children in the church, there's all of four children in the church, they decided they wanted to do a live nativity, just like the big church in Johnson City does. So they wanted to do a live nativity and have this whole evening where we reenact the Christmas story, but there was only 4 people who could be in the play. And so there was a little girl who was Mary, and there was a little boy who was Joseph, and then there was this one child who's going to have some identity issues later. He was a shepherd, a wise man, and an angel, all in one. Way to go, little camper. And then the youngest child in the church, before Samuel was there, the youngest child was 2.5 years old. So by default, he was going to be baby Jesus. So they have this live nativity going, and they put a manger in the front of the church, and then they put a 2.5-year-old child in the manger. And, trying to think ahead, well-intentioned people put a bunch of toys in the manger as to occupy the baby Jesus while they did the live nativity. And so they're reading along in the book of Luke, they're reading along the Christmas story, and all of a sudden there's a projectile toy that flies across the sanctuary. And we all just tried to ignore it politely. And then a few minutes later, another toy flies across the sanctuary. And at that point, the mom picks up the toy, and you can tell she's getting flustered. And then a few minutes later, the little baby Jesus in the manger just sits right up and starts waving. And everyone just starts laughing, and his mama comes running over.